Baby, the fallout continues in this Dr. Jackie debacle. Okay. So, for those of you guys who have been living under a rock, a resurfaced clip from I think it was maybe about 2 or 3 years ago surfaced, and Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie were having a little online ponderosa. And Dr. Jackie said some interesting remarks about Black women as it relates to ensuring that they don't cry wolf, okay, about what they may be experiencing during their pregnancy, right? And it's interesting because this comes just after she had a conversation with Vice President Kamala Harris on Married to Medicine about Black maternity mortality rates, the causes, how to mitigate this, and so forth. So, with those two things coming into contrast with each other, fans and other Married to Medicine stars or former Married to Medicine stars have come out and spoken out against this, including Mariah Huq. Okay, not to mention the fans have been going wild over this because it seems to come into direct contrast with what she was talking about in this past week's episode. So now the just to let you guys know, a more complete, I should say, clip has come out. Even watching the fuller clip of this particular topic, it doesn't necessarily make what she said any better. To be honest with you, I can't play it because obviously this is a clip that's, found on YouTube, likely Dr. Heavenly's channel. But again, when you watch it, I'll place the link in the description down below. It doesn't make the situation any better. I don't work in healthcare, and I have never been, obviously, I'm a man, so expecting in pregnancy is not something that it's right for me to speak on, really, truly. All I can do is talk about the advocacy for patient care and the experience of a Black person who is seeking care and wise counsel in our medical professionals, right? So, Dr. Jackie has come out and she's made a statement. So, let's get into the fullness of this statement herein. All right. We're going to dissect this and a couple of other little things that have come out since then. So, Dr. Jackie says recently a clip, now this was an IG story, recently a clip from a nearly 2-hour video was taken out of context to make it appear that I somehow take lightly what I have advocated for concerning the devastating problem facing Black maternal health crisis. All right, so here, I guess what she is attempting to let us know is that there was a larger clip at play. But when we look at the 3 minute, I think it's maybe a 3 minute clip or so, it's just a little bit longer that they're talking about this specific topic, it seems. Again, it doesn't do her any favors per se. I will tell you what I think she should have done in lieu of this. Okay. But we'll get through her messaging first. She says it has been my life's work to highlight and attempt to rectify the issues that devastatingly impact Black maternal mothers versus our counterparts. Do I disagree with this? No. I think that she has done a lot of great work. I'm not going to take that away from her because I think that I rewatched episode 1 of Married to Medicine, episode 1, season 1. I can definitely tell you that it's very interesting seeing what's playing out now and very interesting to see what played out then on episode 1. But I want to also separate the sort of nice, nasty persona of Dr. Jackie on the show because you definitely got more of that in season 1, episode 1. Go back and check if you haven't seen it. It's a very interesting watch when you think about what's happening now. Okay, just go back and watch episode 1, and you will get it. Okay. However, I do think it's important to separate that from these comments. because I think what she is speaking about is either something she thinks or something that she experiences, or something she's thinking more people are experiencing. Regardless, to say it totally comes like it just honestly it really demeans what Black people experience when it comes to receiving adequate health care, access to health care. And I mean, we could take it and go into housing because there have been these systems in place that have put us in a position to be behind the eight ball for such a long time. But there are so many issues that go into this that really I think make what she said such a such a big mistake for her, right? Because whether or not you have experienced a small population or a population of patients that have come to you that you believe, okay, there is nothing wrong, and your belief is just that they want to get off of work, does not negate what they are feeling and or experiencing, okay? Because you can't pay me to think that there aren't other races, potentially also the majority, um, okay, um, who have not done the same, if not or worse, okay? My thought is in general, if someone who is expecting comes to me, and I'm not a doctor, okay, so I can't, it's this is very difficult. I can only talk to you from the perspective of a patient and an observer, okay? If as an observer, if someone comes to you and they tell you that I feel like I am experiencing hardship as a result of my pregnancy, or I am feeling something that is not right, I don't necessarily believe that I need to be at work during this time. We have been entrenched in this hustle and in this work grind yourselves to death mentality for such a long time, and it is so super unhealthy. Yes, why don't you send them home? Because guess what? I don't know what it's like to birth no babies, but what I do understand is the miracle of creating one, and I understand that there may be changes that one's body may go through that may actually warrant, guess what? More rest. Okay. Now, again, not an OBGYN, not a doctor. Fully admit to that, right? But I just had to give you guys that thought. And I'm not, this isn't a bash Dr. Jackie session because I don't want it to be that, right? I don't know why she said what she said at that point in time. I am of the mindset, I've told you guys this for a while now, that I may believe one thing one day and believe something different the next, right? However, fundamental beliefs, okay, they're not going to be changing. Opinions might change. This is this an opinion, or is it an observation, or is it a profile, right? You got to really I think she may want to be careful with that because as we can see, it can be interpreted wrong, right? Do I think that that was her intent? No. But do I think that this is the impact that it had? Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to separate that for those of you guys who are critically thinking. Okay. Um, and I guess what I mean by that is I want you to go beyond how you feel about her as a character on a reality TV show and look at her as a human being and who is an OBGYN. And I just want to level set the playing field and take some of that angst away from the being on a reality TV show, if that makes any sense for you guys. And I'm being careful here, but I also want to be real about my opinions about it, right? Anyway, she says, as a physician, I educate my patients every day to be their own best health advocate. As we continue to face medical mistreatment and gaslighting, my intention with the broader conversation was to ensure patients enter their pregnancies armed with information and tools to effectively communicate their needs with their doctors to ensure a positive outcome. The reason I became an OBGYN is because growing up, I saw such a lack of diversity amongst medical professionals and was determined to be a part of the change. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I will continue to fight for the lives of Black mothers and babies. Do I believe that to be true? I absolutely 110% believe that that is her intent. But I think that somewhere along the way, she slipped up and said something that I don't think that she should have said aloud. Okay, to be for real about it. Okay, um, I think that versus handling it via this IG story where your messaging is still left up to interpretation, I think it would have been better to just simply do another live with Dr. Heavenly to clarify and further explain, exactly what she meant. Or maybe she doesn't feel the need to do that because it is the holidays. So I'm sure she could be thinking to herself, I need to just be off work or I need to max and relax. But the way these people are coming out in support, baby, um, so Toya has come out in support of Dr. Jackie and says, Dr. Jackie, you shouldn't have to prove you're a good doctor. Now, Toya also reposted Dr. Jackie's message as well. And she says, your history speaks for itself. It's going to be okay. Have faith. Believe God wouldn't have brought you this far. It definitely hurts to be accused or misunderstood. I can attest. But this is the time to acknowledge you're human and that it can happen to all of us. Now, I don't know if Toya was throwing a little shade here by basically saying, girl, we done put you on that pedestal like Mariah said, but you's a human too. Okay? So I'm like, is there a little shade up in there? Like, recognize, girl, that you make mistakes and own it. That's what it's kind of given. Of course, again, these are all up to interpretation. So I could be totally wrong here. It says also, this is just a season of growth. I stand with you. I think that this message is real. I think that this message is very real. Um, I think it really speaks to how Toya views Dr. Jackie, and then I'm not shocked by that. But I think it's take away again the feelings of how one may feel about Dr. Jackie from seeing her on a reality TV show and put it all into context. What Toya is saying is absolutely true. Maybe we are misunderstanding her. However, she led us down that path. Um, and I think it is wise to acknowledge you are human too, as Mariah stated. This is a season of growth. Grow from it. Dr. Heavenly says, I stand with Dr. Jackie. I know her heart. She has done so much for so many. We have all learned lessons and will forever be changed. Again, this note, we have all learned lessons, okay? Goes back to this idea of everybody is inviolable. We all make mistakes. So there's the standing with, but there's still the learn from this catch, okay? Let's go on to Dr. Simone's statement. I know firsthand, personally and professionally, Dr. Jackie is a great doctor. I don't think anyone denies that. Okay. Now, she goes on to say, as Black female OBGYNs, we are grateful when patients choose us and place their trust in us. Black mothers are dying 3 times more than any other ethnic group, and we are working hard to fight these statistics. I think that this was a more politically correct response. I'm going to stick up for you, but I'm going to let the people know that I am on the side of advocating for Black women. Okay? A little bit of distance there, but still some stand up. Okay? Some solidarity there. But I also appreciate the realness of it. Okay? So, again, I think it's important for me to say to you guys, I'm personally not interested in canceling Dr. Jackie. I don't believe in canceling. I don't believe in canceling people. I do think that I would prefer to say that you hold people accountable. My job here isn't, by the way, to hold anybody accountable. My job here is to simply present to you what's happening and give you some food for thought, commentary based on my own experiences, and I will tell you whether I have limited experience or not, but still give you my thoughtful feedback. Because at the end of the day, okay, I am sure that there has been some good work done on Dr. Jackie's behalf. And listen, hopefully, this is one of those situations where she takes a different standpoint moving forward and is maybe a bit clearer, particularly because a this is something that she has been an advocate for. She has been working in this space. So it is extremely imperative that you also be careful with your words when speaking about a space that you are advocating for. In particular, excuse me, particularly people that you are advocating for. You want to make sure that you are not throwing those same people that you are advocating for under the bus. Okay? Just my thoughts. And again, who am I, right? But these are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts as it relates to each of these statements that have come out. That's what we want to talk about. If you can, try your hardest to separate the character, if you can, versus the issue. Because the character on a reality TV show is one thing, the issue that we're talking about is super real. Okay? Um before we go, I do want to get into and it's not a little it's not really mess per se, but I meant to speak about this yesterday because Mariah's interview had so many nuggets. And I put Phaedra on the thumbnail yesterday, as you guys can see here. So I meant to discuss this yesterday, but I did not get around to it because we talked about so much in yesterday's video. And for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with the content that I create, I am not a hit it, quit it, drive by, couple of minute person. I like to have dialogue. I like to talk. That's the reason why I'm here. This is what brings me joy. So again, that's why a video of mine may be long, but I like to give you my thoughts and opinions. And I like it when my favorite creators give me a good old long video. Okay. So we're going to talk. So Mariah, yesterday, in the interview that she did with All About the Tea, Mariah was asked about Phaedra's, what I mean, what does she think about Phaedra on Married to Medicine? Valid question because Mariah did start this franchise. Um, she basically says she, get you an easy coin because that's what it seems like this is. She says, I don't understand the connection or parallel unless she's representing one of the ladies in malpractice situation. I don't understand the connection. She's not married to medicine, my love. Okay. But she does say that she believes Phaedra is good for TV. She says she's shown that. And I think she deserves something in law, perhaps Law and Liars, and Mariah being a person who has created a show, okay, and we'll talk a little bit about another thing that she's creating. Um, it's just kind of thinking of names, okay? She said, I'd like to see her on Housewives of Atlanta in the parking lot doing her law with the criminals in her car. Parking lot lawyers, I don't know. She says, I think she's great for TV. I just don't understand the connection here. But you know what? She came through and she is known as the head doctor. That good old Mariah baby will deliver a good old shady boots moment with the greatest of ease, like swinging high and high on a flying trapeze. Okay. I'm not mad at it, Mariah, and I don't mind the honesty either. Now, chime down in the chat, and thanks to the Jasmine brand for this visual, because again, I like to show you guys a visual as I'm talking about it. Mariah also spoke about the idea of not really an idea because it's already come to fruition is that she has created a talk show. Now, we talked about this sort of content space that she has created. I think I mistakenly called it a co-working space, and it very well may be that as well. But it definitely is a content space in Atlanta, and she talks about filming a new TV show with a live studio audience. And we did learn, she did slip up and let us know that her first guest is T.I. And when asked if she would have any of the reality girls or reality folks on there, because she did say she wasn't really going into the unscripted realm, she would love to have either maybe Nene or Candy on the show because she is inspired by what they have been able to accomplish. Okay. Now, I want to be able to see Mariah's talk show. I'm wondering if it's going to go on a streaming platform, like maybe in all black or maybe on YouTube. It'll be interesting to see if she has any deals there, if she's just going to do it on her own. I'm always an advocate of doing it on your own if you can. But it's also interesting because after the episode aired with Carlos King and Quad, we did get an announcement from Quad as well that she too is going to be coming out with her own YouTube. Well, I guess she already has a YouTube channel, but she's going to be putting more content on there. So I guess you guys can also get your daily dose or your weekly dose of Quad as well. Okay. I want to know, who are you excited to watch? Are you going to be watching Mariah's show? You're going to be watching Quad? You're going to be watching both? Or you're going to be watching Married to Medicine without Quad? And let me know what you think about this whole situation with Dr. Jackie. I'll be interested in seeing your responses. Hopefully, outside of your feelings per se about Dr. Jackie. And listen, maybe you don't separate them because maybe you feel like her persona goes hand in hand with her beliefs. And if that's the case, that is valid too. But again, I don't want to take away this what this woman has accomplished and what she has done. But I also have to look at the reality of the impact of her words. And there have been people out there that have asked, well, where is Dr. Jackie's accountability in the way that the ladies have been asking for accountability from Quad? So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. And I will, of course, catch you all in the next video.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Birkin she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. I mean, someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I mean, I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. She ain't hear that from me. I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her all her dirty little secrets, just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out. She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?